Alright, what is up, boys? Let's talk. Seasonal anime. We all love our seasonal anime. A lot of you come to this channel to learn more about your seasonal animes and why they don't get a second season. I know this. They're great. We all love them, right? So what's the worst thing that could happen to our seasonal animes, right? They don't get a second season a lot of the times, right? Now, what's even worse than that? What if an anime can't even get off the ground to finish their first season? I think that's much worse than it not even getting a chance to get a third season or second season, whatever, right? So why am I saying this? Uncle Ojisan. Now, this is the anime my friends have honestly loved to talk about, and it's one of the only isekais I have not checked out this season. And why is that? I like waiting for, say, the bigger animes, the bigger isekai animes at the end. I like to do all that watching when it's all finished, when it's all done, and I can simply binge the entirety of the season and then give my thoughts on it, right? That's what I like. I know people watch them, every week when they come out and they feel super hyped when that happens, and to each their own, right? To each their own. But like I said, the worst thing is when it doesn't even get a chance to finish. So why am I saying this with Uncle Ojisan? Well, we all know it got delayed because of COVID, right? COVID. So I was gonna make a video on this topic, maybe like a little news 2-minute topic about Uncle Ojisan being delayed because of COVID. But then I was like, well, I don't think I really need to do it either way. I'm not really trying to do little news topics. Then a video dropped by ChibiReviews, someone I watch a decent amount, I would say. A lot of recommendations coming from that channel for sure. A video showed up on my feed from him about the situation, and it was not COVID related. This is honestly something that's really needed to be highlighted, and this is why I decided to make a video, because hopefully enough people will voice their opinions about this, and over the years it can get changed, because this is it's really unfortunate. And we're gonna do a little partial reaction. I've already seen it, but there's some parts in it that I probably want to highlight a little bit differently.
I have been meaning to talk about this for the past few days.
Let us know. Come on.
Last week, when it was announced that Uncle from Another World would be getting basically delayed indefinitely. So Uncle from Another World, just in case you have no idea what it is, its Japanese title is Isekai Ojisan, and it's a series that I've talked about consistently. Basically, I'll show some pictures of it. I've made many videos of this. I love this series. It's fantastic. It is easily one of my favorite anime from this anime season, and anyone that has definitely sat down and has watched this said series probably will agree with me that Uncle from Another World is just straight up fantastic. And one of the biggest issues that it's obviously been trying to overcome, and I've discussed consistently for months now, is that it's locked in Netflix jail. Basically, you know how Netflix...
So, Netflix jail. I'm just gonna stop it right here. So, what is Netflix jail? What is he about to say basically for this? So, it's kind of what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, saying I like to watch the video, I like to watch the anime in its entirety all together and binge it, right? That's how Netflix likes to do a lot of their videos on there. So you can simply binge it. That's what they want you to do. Now, in the anime streaming community, we get it week by week by week by week by week, which is something a lot of kind of really ingrained into Japanese culture. So it would be a lot harder to get, them to change that and have it just all done for you right there. Like I said, most people in the anime sphere enjoy watching it week by week, and Netflix likes to binge it. See the difference. Either they get it all up front before, say, let's go here, right? Let's go here. So it is summer. That means for Netflix to get this properly right, they would have to get it at the beginning of summer before all these animes have finished, when they're first releasing like the episode 1 or 2, right? To get it correct, right? But no, they're still doing it week by week to try and keep up with the rest of the other seasonal animes. But because of how the companies and how it's different, it's not happening that way. They're still just having a lot of delays and communication issues. That's more or less what's been going on here.
However, Netflix has tried to give episodes a little bit earlier, even in North America, but even it's still not the same day delivery as other places around the world. So it's still very behind the times of, let's say, something like Crunchyroll. But obviously
that's my thing right there. I'm just gonna say it's behind the times. Well, honestly, right, that's Netflix's whole thing of how they've been doing things, is just getting it all in bulk. But doing it week by week by week, that's what they've always done, right? The new thing is to get it in bulk. That's the new thing. And like I said, the only way to really fix this to where both anime fans can and Netflix can be happy about it is if they get it in bulk but they release it right at the beginning of their split, right? Because what they're doing now is more or less they're angering the anime community because they're like, hey, why don't you just adjust and do it week by week and get with the times, even though we've been doing this first all the time, you know? Like, it's gonna get into another topic about this video that we're gonna just honestly skim a little bit past.
I want to talk about this comment that a Japanese animator made. Got a little bit more about people kind of clarifying the situation. Basically, a little bit of an article talking about it, and just get a whole understanding of who's talking about it and what's actually going on here.
Yeah.
So basically, Uncle from Another World, after episode 7 that came out last week, episode 8 has been delayed. And in its place, as you can see from this post, September 7th, which is tomorrow.
So basically, right, September 7th, they're going to be re-releasing or rebroadcasting episode 3 back on the Japanese platforms to the viewers, right? Because September 7th, they should be uploading episode 8, but it's rebroadcasting episode 3. Same thing for same thing for September 14th. They're re-uploading episode 4 when they should be uploading episode 9 at that point, and then continuing on and on and on. Basically, it's a huge delay. The problem with what's about to happen here is if you go to Anime News Network, which is one of the best sites for news in general for anime, they're going to tell you that it's COVID again. They're getting delayed because of the virus, right? I can't even probably say the word, right? So I'm probably blur that out. So the virus. But the problem is when you keep going on, and the reason why the first person here in the tweet is so important is because he was supposed to be a director for this anime, but he basically turned them down because he knew they weren't going to be treating him right. So he's letting people know that this is not basically because of the virus, and it's being retranslated and be clarified. Yeah, I think this is a translator, not to say that. Yeah. So basically, higher ups for this company, the studio, are trying to blame it on the virus when really it's something else actually entirely. So we're gonna just keep watching.
So basically, at least for the next 4 weeks, Uncle from Another World has been delayed. And
yeah,
it's going to be
super unfortunate.
Earlier episodes from the series, starting from, let's say, episode 3 to episode 6. And obviously, the overall time from this could easily extend even further as more of these, potential delays keep happening. And let's talk about that. Why is the delays happening for Uncle from Another World? Well, we fast forward to, a few days ago. Basically, the exact same thing happened again, and I'll pull up the article here that, is from Anime News Network that kind of clarifies. Uncle from Another World anime delayed episode 8 indefinitely due to COVID.
The studio is saying 2 times in a row already that, hey, this is all because of COVID, but that's not the case. Let's go here.
Individuals kind of clarify what's actually going on here. So let's get into this post from a really well-known animator, actually. This animator in general, you might recognize him. I've made a video talking about this animator, and I'm following him for a reason, because actually this is the person that kind of talked about and opened up about being underpaid by Studio Mappa / Netflix. It's all those different videos I made about, animators coming out and basically saying it's like a sweatshop. This is the person that kind of really came out and started talking about that, of just the horrible conditions that, this individual faced while working on said anime with Studio Mappa. So, yeah, this is quite the individual. But basically, this is someone that's very outspoken about issues within.
That is pretty much the bigger underlining thing I wanted to talk about, right? I talk about a lot on this channel about how much money these animes make, how much they get per season. In this next upcoming video, I don't mean to promote it, but I'm gonna dive a little bit harder into streaming and tell you how much they make per episode, production costs, who's paying for it, how they're getting the money. And some of these animes are worth a lot of millions of dollars, right? A lot. It's heartbreaking because you think about who are the people behind it who make this anime so great and look so great and advertise the product, and it's the animators, right? So why are they getting paid and why are they being treated so poorly? You can't tell me, right? There's no way you can definitely come to me and tell me they're getting paid properly. There's just no way. There's no way. You could try to break it down as many times as you can, but you can't fool me. I know how much these animes make, and to see them being people being mistreated like this, you would think they would put more into this. It comes back to my thing about how I feel it should be run. It's I feel to properly get this anime out, you could give people their guaranteed contracts, whatever, right? Make sure you get the right people. put them in a really nice studio to work in, or just decent, like good, and then have them work beforehand before this new season of anime comes out and this new split of anime comes out, to where they have enough time to get the work done and not having to like gotta work this week beforehand for this next episode of anime. Like, I don't know, I hate that, because it's just like, aren't animated movies, aren't they done beforehand to where they can have all this prep work, all this tuning done way in advance? That way everyone's kind of happy, like the anime comes out on time, the people don't feel like they're getting overworked, and then also their pay would be really good. Like, it's just like a trifecta of everyone's just kind of, any issue there for like the workers isn't there. And I feel like seasonal animes could be doing a very similar model if that's the case, to where they can have these animes already made, the people who are working there don't have to be overworked, because it's a very difficult job and demanding job from all like sides. Like, you're getting demanded from your boss, you're getting demanded by the fans, you're getting demanded by some of your coworkers. Like, it's just like, it's a lot, it's a really demanding job. So it's like, why can't we have some of this stuff like just fixed? It's really like, it's coming like almost every split that we're getting some type of issue like this, of these people are being overworked like crazy and they're getting underpaid like crazy, when these animes are making hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, what's going on? And not every anime is making that amount of money, but it still just comes down to like, the anime industry is huge. Like, you would think the people making the anime would get paid.
I was planning to direct the 10th episode of Isekai Ojisan, but it was decided not to do it because the animation staff was still 0 before the 7th episode aired. It's very disappointing. It seems that only in-house staff will proceed. I participated in storyboarding and dubbing. I told the person I introduced not to treat them carelessly until the last episode.
See, look at this. Look at this. If you ever like seen like Golden Boy, there's an episode in there where like literally they're struggling, animators are struggling to find like work, essentially like finding people to work for them or help them out. So they have to call in all these favors from like the senseis or whatever to come in and help them out last minute. And it's like this, oh wow, feel good moment when that happens. And I know the animators who made that scene are like, man, I could really relate because this happens a good amount. But it's like, why does that happen? Why can't we just give them, say you're a part of the studio, give them like a yearly contract, like you work with this studio, you get guaranteed to make this amount of money, and you're gonna be stationed to work on say 4, 5, 6, 7 animes like that. Like I said, I don't know perfectly the animators' contracts, but it's a lot of it feels like it's just freelance. Like it's like last minute, hey, can you work on this anime? This project, come to this studio, and then we're just like, yeah, I need work, and then just hop on right away. It sounds terrible.
This individual here was supposedly going to be working, like deciding, like as he said, storyboarding, dubbing, etc. And he was going to direct the 10th episode of Isekai Ojisan. It was a big role. So for episode 10, which FYI, the episode that was delayed indefinitely was episode 8. So technically 3 episodes later. And from what you can understand here, even at episode 7, there was like 0 animation staff, as he's saying here. And basically everything is only in-house at the moment. Basically saying that the studio, which here is the studio, this really new studio, as you can see, they haven't really worked on much. I've
already seen the studio before. Basically, like I said, new studio, the stuff that they do actually work on looks great. Like, it looks great. Oji-san has some interesting animation styles, I will say that. And to be fair, like these other 2 like animes on the side that you don't know probably, they're like 5 episodes each, right, for the season. And the thing is, that's even like they're short form, so that just shows how short like staff they probably usually are already. And then they get this isekai from Kodakawa, because Oji-san is from Kodakawa, and it's a big isekai, by the way. It's doing great in terms of ratings. Everyone loves the anime for the most part. And then you just have more delay problems and people just saying, hey, I hate these conditions, I'm out, like I can't do it, which, respect for them, their life is more important, but like, geez, man, you gotta treat your people better.
They don't have a lot really behind them, and apparently this studio is doing all in-house animation, which is not something many animation studios do. Almost every single animation studio in the industry gets help from other studios, etc. Mappa gets help, and even KyoAni, which...
Yeah, that's the community aspect that's interesting. It's like they all get help from other studios to help them out with the projects, and like, that's cool, that's cool. I would have rather, like I said, like all these contracts are kind of already set up beforehand, beforehand, where it's like, okay, this studio's working on it, and they're X with another studio, like say White Fox, right? Like map up X White Fox. These two studios are working like together to make this one anime. I know they're like, oh, let's just get this guy over here, this guy over here, this guy over here. And you're getting, like you say, when you do that, you can get some of the best talent by doing it that way. And you can get some people like, you know, last minute that way. It partially, to me, doesn't seem as professional, right? I don't know, call me crazy. I just don't, some things should be just already set up before the anime's even like talked about. Like when you're doing, like when you're getting the anime from like say the production company and they're like working on like what studio to get, it should be like, okay, we're gonna hire these two studios together to work on it. They take this director, that director, and that's it. Maybe we get another director from somewhere over here, but like that's it. Everyone's locked into place, and we do it way beforehand to where it's already like done. Because it feels, I don't want to say last minute, but it feels so rushed with these seasonal anime. This feels so rushed. Like, but I would like it, like if I was say running it, right? At the start of July of 2022 for summer, right? I would have had all of these animes more or less done and already worked on back in April or June, right? Way in advance. I get this studio and that studio, and you're working on this anime way in advance. You're not, it feels last minute or feels too rushed. That's probably the better word, too rushed. And I don't like that. I don't like that because like I said, when it gets rushed, people are getting yelled at and people are forced to go a little do faster here, work harder here. Like this, the vibe probably doesn't feel right? I'm not in the animation spaces, but I don't like how it's set up from the outside, right? I don't like how it looks. It doesn't look good.
And so the point I'm trying to make is that the fact that they're kind of doing only in-house at the moment kind of says that there's poor planning and poor structuring for the scheduling of the anime being. To have this is a little bit more damning. Basically, a director who left the production at the very last moment rightfully blamed their complete inability to provide any external staff members to get their episode made. Then the public excuse is the spread of a disease that would be an internal issue in a production/studio.
There you go. This is a little long, so I'm just gonna summarize some of the things that Chibi is gonna be basically saying in the video and what I agree with or what I disagree with. Poor planning. Basically, the director who's been directing it up to this point, 8 out of 10, right? Great director already, right? Said he wanted more he wanted more help, right? He wanted more people on staff to help him make the anime as good as it can, or just on time, right? And the higher ups basically told him no, or he basically just couldn't get him in general, right? To me, it just sounds simple. It's like if you have people set up way in advance, and especially for a company, like I said, this is being put on Netflix, right? I don't know why they're not doing it ahead of time. I can't fathom it. Your entire thing is binge content, having it all in bulk. I would rather them actually stick to saying, we're gonna have Ojisan in bulk. We're putting a lot of money, millions of dollars of money into this anime anyways, right? If we can't get this small studio to work on the anime, right? Get another studio, put them together and say, I want you to work in April to get Ojisan that's gonna be released in June or July. Have it run week by week if you want to stick with this, the format of how anime's been done basically forever, right? Of going week by week. Sure, fine, do it. He can have his staff. This way, the director who's didn't have his staff could have his staff. This way, the people who are working on the project don't feel like they're being rushed. To me, it sounds like a very simple solution because I feel like it is. These little time slots, September 7th, September 14th, September 21st, September 28th, right? These are potential episode slots for Ojisan. So if we're going off of this, it could be like episode basically 12, 13 that Ojisan was potentially going to be getting, say. Right now, you can see it's question mark unknown because they have no idea how long Ojisan is going to go for. By this rate, it could be probably like 10 episodes for Ojisan when it's done, right? So these slots are all slots they have to pay for. BS11 has to pay, say, I'm just going to give you some numbers, maybe 400,000 per slot of a broadcast. Like if you have to run, say, I'm gonna use this example again, if you have to run a time slot at 9:30 p.m, you better be there at 9:30 p.m or you wasted money. So every time they did this of rebroadcasting episode 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, right, they're wasting money. So that means, for example, BS11, because I'm using them because they're a production company, BS11, they basically just wasted $400,000 on Ojisan. They did it again, they're gonna do it again, they're gonna do it again. So they're gonna do it already 4 times, right? 4 times before we're gonna get another episode. So let's just go to do some simple math. So from this delay, they basically already wasted $1,600,000, right? You can't get that money back. You can't get that money back. And then if you do want to finish it with having 11, 12, 13 episodes, because I think because of this delay, there's no chance it's getting 24 episodes, right? There's no chance. No matter how good it's probably going to get, there's pretty much no chance they're going to do it. It's just too much money. Too much money. Because of that, they have to go and pay for those slots back and get those slots back, which is already just is gonna kind of suck, but I think they could do it, right? What's gonna happen next is what he's gonna mention in the video is they're going to now have to compete in the fall anime tier list. So why is that so much worse? Why is that so bad? Well, man, we can just get our animes and it could be down here with whatever the heck this was, Biscuit, whatever it's called. Yeah, Lucifer and the Biscuit, right? Biscuit Hammer. What's so bad? What's so bad is it's going to have to basically compete against some heavier hitters. So Spy X Family, My Hero, right? Chainsaw Man, Mob Psych, Boruto is whatever, but it still has to compete with Boruto. Bleach is going to have to compete with JoJo. Like, interest in the show is going to go down because it has more bigger hitter animes to now compete with. So what does that mean for the future of Ojisan? Well, that means people are probably gonna be buying less of, say, the Blu-ray, buying less of the manga. That means they're gonna be spending less eyeballs watching the anime. So overall, it's not just gonna be losing a milli, right? It's not gonna be just losing $1 million. It's gonna be losing a lot more money than that, all from the delays, from not treating your staff properly.
This is the series I'm talking about. Very beautiful series. I also talked about this a lot. Big fan of it. And it was delayed for months because of certain underlying production issues I talked about consistently. And to kind of get into the main point of what makes this relevant to Uncle from Another World, this series was delayed a lot. And because of how many delays it got, the anime's second half basically, or the last episodes of the second half, was delayed for so long because of just how many delays they had. To kind of explain this, when they release an episode in Japan, they're broadcasting it on TV. They have to buy a broadcasting time slot, basically cable. They have to buy, let's say if something airs at 9:30, it has to air at 9:30.
I'm using the exact same example.
It to air at that time. They bought that TV bracket for it to air. And so if the series gets delayed, that means that bracket's kind of a waste of money. And so the rebroadcasting of an episode is just to be able to use that broadcasting slot. Basically what they're doing with episode 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so they're using 4 episode slots for previous episodes. That means that they would have to buy 4 new broadcasting slots to be able to actually show Uncle from Another World. So if it keeps getting more and more delayed, eventually they're going to run out of slots to be able to broadcast that episode. And what I mean is that obviously there's always anime coming out, and the next season is literally happening next month.
Like I said, at the moment, it's 8 episodes, 7 episodes. This Oji-san could literally, if it gets to a point, Oji-san will finish with 8 episodes, and that would be it. That would be it. Like I said, it's so weird. It's also linked up to Amazon, another huge company, American company. And I'm just both Amazon and Netflix, right? Both of these sites, why don't you just do it, stick to your binging idea, right? And get this shit done. Get this shit done way ahead of time. I don't understand it. I can't. And this is a YouTuber example, but when I make a video, right, that video isn't made the same day. That video is made usually a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance. I'm gonna keep it real. And then I schedule the video. I don't know why, a $1 million plus company, right? Why can't we have it be done, 2 months in advance? And then when it's time to release it in summer, because it's being released in summer, it's going week by week. So everyone's used to it and there's no complaints. I don't know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to go to Chibi's video and like the video if you haven't already. I did, and subscribe to his channel, right? But yeah, if you want more anime news like this, I'm gonna be honest, I probably won't be doing too much more anime news. I think, like I said, I'll be uploading it on a different channel to start maybe doing some more daily news, because I don't want to do it on the Barry Anime channel, personally. But yeah, maybe link some more videos that you want me to react to, like this one. See you next time.